Gregg Popovich is stepping down as the Spurs head coach to become their team president, but today we're transitioning him to a different role. Gregg Popovich is going to be suiting up for the Spurs as a 22-year-old rookie with the hopes of bringing a championship back to San Antonio. So with the 8th overall pick in the NBA draft, the Spurs are selecting Gregg Popovich. Their goal is to make him and Wemby the best duo of all time. But the Spurs also managed to win the lottery and get the #1 overall pick, so they have Cooper Flagg on the team too. Gregg Popovich is starting off as a 76 overall, and because he was a legendary coach, we're going to give him 99 potential so he can become a legendary player as well. Gregg Popovich's rookie season's off to a great start. He put up 6 points in just 7 minutes. But the rest of the season wouldn't go so smoothly as he fell out of the rotation when the Spurs traded for AJ Green. At least it was a good trade. So when it comes to being the best duo, Wemby's going to win the Defensive Player of the Year, and he's also on the All-NBA first team. Meanwhile, Gregg Popovich only averaged 3 points per game on the season, and he only ended up playing 21 total games. Cooper Flagg didn't live up to the hype either, only averaging 13 points per game in his rookie season, and the Spurs just had a disastrous season all around. They lost to the Pelicans in the first round in 5 games. But in player progression, Wemby's up to a 97, Cooper Flagg's up to an 89, and Gregg Popovich is an 80. And in their second season together, Wemby's gonna win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years, and he's on the All-NBA first team again. And with Gregg Popovich actually getting some minutes, he's up to 8 points per game. Not great, but that's pretty good considering he played less than a quarter per game. And Cooper Flagg's also up to 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, and the Spurs are the 1 seed in the West, and they're the best team in the conference by 10 games. And in the first round, the Spurs have to go up against the Nuggets, who have Lauri Markkanen now. I think this Spurs team looks a little better, but the Nuggets look good for a play-in team. And the Nuggets had a pretty good first half, but the Spurs pulled away after that. They almost put up 160 points. They had 4 people put up 20, and Wemby was 1 point away from a 20-20 game. Even Jeremy Sohan had 17, and Gregg Popovich did pretty good, scoring 12 points in just 11 minutes. And in Game 2, the Spurs would take a 2-0 lead behind 30 points and 10 rebounds from Wemby. Game 3 was somewhat close until the Nuggets had an amazing second half. Jokic had a 25-point triple-double to win them their first game of the series. And in Game 4, the Spurs blew their lead, so the Nuggets have a chance to tie the series up at 2. They have D'Lo on the team now. He's gonna swing it to Lauri Markkanen, and Lauri Markkanen in a Nuggets jersey looks so weird. He's gonna throw a turnover. De'Aaron's gonna throw it to Cooper Flagg for the dunk, and the Spurs retake the lead. So now we have a D'Lo Jokic pick and roll. He throws it down low to Jokic, and the game's tied again. De'Aaron Fox on the ISO's gonna try to get past D'Lo. That's a terrible shot, but he somehow makes the layup. 1 minute to go for Jokic and the Nuggets. Jamal Murray's gonna use the screen from Lauri Markkanen. He gets into the paint on Stephon Castle and finds Lauri for the open dunk. We need somebody to cook here. Wemby's gonna set the screen for a Devin Vassell mid-range shot, and he's gonna miss it. 20 seconds to go. It looks like D'Lo's looking for Jokic. He finds him in the post being guarded by Wemby, and he's gonna force up the shot, and Wemby gets the board. 9 seconds to go. Wemby pushing the fast break. He's gonna swing it to De'Aaron Fox, who's not doing anything, but he drives by D'Lo and pulls the mid-range, and he knocks it down with 2 seconds to go. So unless the Nuggets somehow hit a full court shot here, the Spurs go up 3-1 in the series. And it was Stephon Castle who led the way, dropping 25 points. Gregg Popovich doesn't play a lot, but he shoots really good from the field. He's shooting 56% in the playoffs. And after having all that momentum, the Spurs are pretty easily gonna win Game 5 at home and make it out of the first round. They really put up 162, and Wemby had 45 of those points. Gregg Popovich with a prime Harden stat line, 2 made shots and 9 made free throws. He had more points than De'Aaron, who played 30 minutes. He's an 82 overall. Hopefully next season he's up to like an 86 and he gets the starting job soon. And in round number 2, the Spurs get a rematch against the Pelicans, who they lost to in the first round last season. Game number 1's not close at all. The Spurs put up 150, and Wemby's cooking. He dropped 44 and 11. Gregg Popovich almost had more than De'Aaron again. And in game 2, we had a back and forth one, but the Spurs blew it in the 4th quarter. Cooper Flagg led the team with 33 points, and Josh Giddey had 19 points and 19 assists. Game 3, the Spurs are going to go up 2-1, and Wemby's cooking with another 30-point game. Once Gregg Popovich gets minutes, I feel like he'll be really good. His per 36 scoring numbers are insane. He just doesn't have a consistent roster spot yet, and that roster spot might be coming soon because the Spurs are potentially 2 games away from getting eliminated. Stephon Castle put up 38. Wemby had another 30-point game. We're not going to talk about this Gregg Popovich game. And Giddey did it. Now he had a 20-20 game. So we have a 2-2 series now. The Spurs need to clutch up. And in Game 5, they had a really bad second and third quarter. They're going to go down 3-2. Wemby put up 35. Gregg Popovich didn't score again in 11 minutes. And Trey Murphy dropped 38 on them. Zion had 37 and Giddey had 31. So in order to make the conference finals, the Spurs have to win 2 games in a row now. And in Game 6, the Spurs are 2 minutes away from forcing a Game 7. Gregg Popovich is actually in the game. Oh no, they just find Giddey wide open for 3, and he's gonna miss. I'm so surprised we're getting Gregg Popovich minutes here. He's gonna throw it down low to Wemby. They're gonna send the double team. Wemby's gonna swing it out to Jeremy Sochan for 3, and he's gonna miss. Wemby gets the offensive board though, and he puts the Spurs up by 5. Now we have Zion trying to get by Cooper Flag. He's getting clamped up right now. He has 3 seconds to go, still getting clamped up. He's gonna have to force up the mid-range, and it's off. De'Aaron Fox is gonna swing it to Popovich, to Wemby on the cut. He's gonna take the dunk, and he puts the Spurs up 7, and they're gonna force a game 7. Cooper Flag had 27, Wemby had 26, and now the Spurs are just 1 game away from either the conference finals or getting eliminated. And the Spurs go crazy after the first quarter. They're gonna be making the conference finals. And it wasn't even one person that went off. We had 4 people put up 20, 5 people put up 19, and I don't know what happened to Gregg Popovich. He was having good games towards the beginning, but not really anymore. But now the Spurs have to go up against the Thunder, who have Jaden Ivey now, and off their bench they have RJ Barrett, VJ Edgecombe, and AJ DeBonsta. They had the first pick in this year's draft, and they also got VJ Edgecombe. He was the 6th pick. This OKC team is going to be tough to beat. Game 1, the Thunder had the lead all game until the 4th quarter. Let's see if the Spurs can close it out. And of course, the Thunder are at the free throw line. Jaden Ivey's free throw is good, and we have a 1-point game. De'Aaron Fox has 5 seconds to go. He's going to take the mid-range over Shea, and it's just going to bounce off the rim. So now the Thunder have AJ DeBonsta on the break. He swings it to VJ Edgecombe for the layup, and it's going to roll in. The Thunder take the lead. It looks like they're going to run a De'Aaron Fox, Wemby pick and roll again. De'Aaron's going to get double teamed. He can't make the pass though. He has 6 seconds to go. He swings it to Wemby, being guarded by Chet. He's getting clamped up, but he's going to have to force up the shot, and he gets blocked. So now the Thunder have a chance to extend their lead here. Shea's going to take the jumper. It's off, and they're going to get the putback, and they're up by 3. I don't like the way they've been playing at all. Jeremy Sochan's going to use the screen from Wemby. He's going to drive into the paint. He's getting clamped up. 8 seconds to go. He can't get a shot off, and they get an offensive 3-second violation. They have to foul now. So Shea's going to go to the free throw line. His first free throw's good, and to put the Thunder up by 5, his second free throw's good. The Spurs have no timeouts here, and they desperately need to score. De'Aaron Fox is going to swing it to Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle, the deep step back 3, and it's good. So now the Thunder have Jaden Ivey back at the free throw line. His first free throw's gonna miss. That is huge. The Spurs can still tie it here. He's gonna make the second free throw. They only have a couple seconds to get up the court. Cooper Flag's gonna swing it to Stephon Castle, and he can't make the 3 this time. So after a huge comeback, the Spurs couldn't complete it, and they're gonna lose game 1. Stephon Castle put up 35, and Wemby, bro, 11 points and 3 for 19 from the field. And De'Aaron shot bad too. He shot 0 for 7 from 3. This cannot be the case next game. And in game 2, we have the same situation. The Thunder had the lead all first half, but now they're blowing it. Let's see if the Spurs can actually hold the lead this game. Stephon Castle's in. Okay, he used the screen for Wemby. I don't know how that wasn't a turnover. What just happened? That looked like the worst pass of all time. So now we have Stephon Castle guarding Shea. Shea's gonna throw it down low to Sharp, and we're back to a 3-point game. Jalen Williams is on the Spurs now. He's gonna swing it to Stephon Castle with 6 seconds to go. Please don't force up the shot over Shea. At least find a pass. He finds Devin Vassell for the contested shot, and it's off. So now they have VJ Edgecombe on the break, being guarded by Stephon Castle. He swings it to J-Dub, and he hits the bottom of the rim. So now we have Wemby on the break, struggling to make his way into the paint. They're going to send the double team. He's going to take the fade, and he misses. VJ Edgecombe on the break again. He's going to break Devin Vassell's ankles and throw down the dunk. All the Spurs have to do is score here and not leave the door open for the Thunder. Stephon Castle's going to make his way into the paint, and he's fouled. That actually almost bounced in. He's shooting 7 for 10 from the free throw line. He just needs to make both, and the first one's good. And to make it a 3-point game, his second free throw, oh my gosh, that looked like it was going to miss, but it goes in. So now even if the Thunder hit a 3 here, they can't take the lead. Shea has 20 seconds to go. He's going to take the layup on De'Aaron. He absolutely bodied him. But now the Thunder have to foul again. We have De'Aaron at the line. His first free throw's good. And to put the Spurs back up by 3, his second free throw's good. The Thunder have no timeouts. They have 15 seconds to go. Shea trying to make it into the paint on De'Aaron. He's kind of getting clamped up somehow. He's going to swing it to RJ Barrett for the contested 3, and it's in and out, and the Spurs tie the series up at 1. And De'Aaron led the way with 30. Wemby had 20. He shot terrible again, but at least the series is tied up at 1. Game 3, the Thunder had a good first and second half. They're going to blow out the Spurs, and Chet dropped 41 and 16 on them. I don't know what's up with Wemby. He's shooting 44% from the field in the playoffs. Game 4, the Spurs kept it close for a little bit, but the Thunder are going to go up 3-1. The one game Wemby shoots 50% or better, they just can't play defense. Shea and Jaden Ivey both had 27, and they shot 55% as a team. The Spurs Spurs aren't going out in 5 though. They're going to force a game 6. Wemby put up 35 on good efficiency. He just needs to keep doing that. And in game 6, the Spurs blow out the Thunder and force a game 7. So now the Thunder are on the verge of blowing a 3-1 lead. And in game 7, with 1 minute to go, the Spurs are making a comeback. I don't like the fact that they have Malik Monk on Shea, and he's going to get to the paint easily and make the and 1. And that's crazy. They took Malik Monk out right after that. I don't know why they didn't have Cooper Flag in the game in the first place. Stephon Castle's going to blow right by Shea and take the mid-range. I don't like that shot, but it somehow rolls in. Shea on the ISO. It's going to blow by, but he airballs the layup? What? I thought that was a free layup. Now we have Wemby taking a fast break 3, and he ties the game up with 40 seconds. Please just get one stop here. Shea's going to pass it to Sharp for the layup, and he's blocked by Wemby. I wish he snatch blocked that so the Thunder wouldn't get another chance here. Jaden Ivey's going to use the screen from Sharp. He throws it down low, and Wemby's going to get the steal. So now we have Cooper Flag on the break. 20 seconds to go. He's driving by J-Dub. Please don't force up a shot. Whatever you do, just chew the clock out. And he is going to chew the clock out. He's struggling to get past J-Dub. 5 seconds to go. They're going to swing it down low to Wemby for the layup. He misses, and the Thunder have a chance to win it now. They're going to inbound the ball to Shea, being guarded by Stephon Castle. He's going to have to force up the layup, and we're going into overtime. And in overtime, the Spurs have a 1-point lead with a minute and a half to go. Now we have Vassell. He's going to throw it to Wemby with 7 seconds left. He has a mismatch. What is he doing though? Why doesn't he just body him? He swings it to Malik Monk, to Vassell, the contested mid-range, and it's in and out. That was a terrible possession. Now the Thunder have a chance to take the lead here, and they're probably gonna because it's Malik Monk guarding Shea, but Shea's gonna smoke the layup. Now we have Stephon Castle throwing it down low to Wemby, and Day'Ron Sharp's gonna get the steal. And now we have Shea going back to work on Malik Monk. Wemby with the help defense in the block, and Shea ended up fouling him. Wemby's gonna knock down the first free throw, and to give the Spurs a 3-point lead, his second free throw's good. And they don't have Cooper Flag back in the game. He must have fouled out. Shea's gonna go right to work on Stephon Castle, and he's gonna get an easy layup. So this time it's Devin Vassell at the free throw line. His first free throw is gonna miss. I don't like that. They can win it with the 3 now, and his second free throw is good. Stephon Castle, please clamp up Shea here. Shea's having trouble making it into the paint. He takes the jumper and it's off, and Stephon Castle gets the board. All he has to do is make both free throws. His first one's up and it's good. And to move on to the NBA Finals, his second free throw's good. So the Spurs are gonna win in overtime of Game 7, and Stephon Castle carried. He dropped 38. I don't know what's up with Wemby. He had another game shooting bad from the field, but none of that matters. The Spurs are on to the conference finals to go up against the Pistons, and they have Lou Dort and Capella now. Game 1's not even close. The Pistons blow out the Spurs. De'Aaron dropped 34, but Cade dropped 42 on them. How are we letting Capella score 22 points? And Game 2 is going to be another blowout. The Pistons put up 52 in the third quarter. Wemby had 36, but Cade is too good. He dropped 48. I can't believe the Spurs just lost both games at home, but now in Detroit, they're finally going to win a game. No team's won a home game yet. We had 2 people drop 30, 3 drop 25, and Cade only put up 22. We just need to contain him every game. And in Game 4, the Spurs had a terrible first quarter, but let's see if they can complete this comeback. They're going to go to Chris Middleton, and Stephon Castle gets the steal. Now on the break, we honestly have nobody open. Stephon Castle swings it to Fox, to a wide open Wemby, and he's going to miss the 3. Cade's going to use the screen. Stephon Castle can't keep up. He's not going to contest the 3, but Cade still misses it. Now we have De'Aaron on the break. He's going to blow by and take the mid-range, and the Spurs have a 4-point lead. Chris Middleton in the corners and use the screen from Cade, and he's going to pull the mid-range, and he's going to miss. He's going to find De'Aaron Fox on the cut for the layup, and the layup's gonna roll off the rim. He somehow gets the offensive rebound though. He's gonna go back up. He's blocked. He gets another rebound, and this time he's not gonna go up. Stephon Castle's not gonna shoot the 3 though. What is going on? De'Aaron another layup and another miss. Now we have Cade with not much time left. He's gonna have to force up the mid-range, and he makes it, but they're still down 2 and they have to foul. So we have Cooper Flag going to the line. His first free throw's good, and to potentially ice the game, his second free throw's good. The Pistons have no timeouts here. They're taking their sweet time. Capella's gonna be the one to force the 3. That is crazy, and he somehow makes it. What? I mean, as long as the Spurs don't do something stupid here, they should win. Wemby's gonna inbound it to Fox. They can't get the foul off, and the Spurs tie the series up at 2. Cade had 37. Nobody can stop him, and nobody even went off for the Spurs, but they had 7 people put up 10 or more. If the Spurs could use their momentum back at home, that would be great. And in Game 5, the Pistons are gonna run away with the game late in the 4th. Wemby had 31 and Castle had 28. They didn't have much help though, and nobody can stop Cade. Why is Asar putting up 28 and Jalen Duren putting up 20? No way they made it all this way just to lose. And in Game 6, it's close, but not close enough. enough, the Pistons are going to win the finals in 6. But the future's looking bright because these young guys just gained a lot of experience. And at the beginning of season number 3, Wemby's up to a 98, Cooper Flagg and Stephon Castle are both up to 94s, and Gregg Popovich is all the way up to an 85. Gregg Popovich is up from 8 all the way to 15 points per game. He's going to finish 3rd in most improved player, and nobody's beating Cade in the MVP race, but Wemby and Cooper Flagg finished 2nd and 3rd. But either way, none of that matters because the Spurs are the 1 seed again. They're not the best team in the league though, and in the first round they have to go up against the Warriors with no Steph or Jimmy because they both retired. And in game 1, the Spurs win by 62 points. Wemby had 45 and 16, and Gregg Popovich put up 27. And the rest of the series went the same way. The Spurs sweep the Warriors. Wemby averaged 30, 12, and 7 in the first round, and Gregg Popovich averaged 19 points per game. And now in the second round, they have to go up against Luka and the Lakers. Through 4 games, the series is tied up at 2, and in game 5, the Spurs have a crazy comeback after the first quarter. Cooper Flagg led the way with a career-high 45 points, and they're not going to let the Lakers even get close to forcing a game 7, and Wemby almost put up a 50 ball, and Gregg Popovich almost had a triple-double. So now they're back in the conference finals. They have a rematch against the Thunder, and VJ Edgecombe's up to a 90. Now this team just looks even better, and they also have a 90 AJ DeBonsta off the bench. He won 6th Man of the Year this season. Game 1, the Spurs are making a super late comeback. They were just down 8, but now they're down 3 with 30 seconds to go. We don't have Wemby on the floor. I'm guessing he fouled out, so it looks like they're gonna go to De'Aaron for the contested 3, and Cooper Flagg comes out of nowhere for the putback. The Spurs are gonna full court press here, but they're not gonna foul. J-Dub on the ISO, driving past Jeremy Sohan. He's blocked by Jalen Williams, but they can't get the rebound. That was low-key a bad block. I wish they could have just gotten the rebound, and Jeremiah Fears knocks down the 3. Now the Spurs are down 4. De'Aaron's gonna swing it to Sohan for 3. It's off, and they're not going to get the rebound. The Thunder take game 1. Honestly, I can't believe they lost because of that block. Cooper Flagg put up 32, Wemby only had 22, and Gregg Popovich had 4 points. He shot 1 for 11. But in game 2, we have a Spurs blowout. They tie the series up at 1, and we need everyone to go off like this every game. They had 7 people put up 15 or more points. Game 3, we're not going to talk about. The Spurs aren't even going to put up 100 points, and their leading scorer was Jordan Poole with just 18. De'Aaron Fox shot 3 for 18, Stephon Castle 4 for 13, Cooper Flagg 3 for 16, I didn't even see that, and Wemby shot 2 for 13. They shot 28% as a team. I'm surprised they didn't get blown out by more. And in game 4, the Spurs saved themselves with that 3rd quarter, so now the series is tied up at 2. Game 5, the Thunder put up 160 on the Spurs, and they didn't even have a single person put up 30, they just had everyone do really good. Every single person that played had more than 10, and they shot 60% from the field. So now the Spurs are 1 game away from being eliminated, and after making the finals last season, they're gonna lose in the conference finals this season. How did they lose? They had 5 people drop 20. That's crazy, and the Pistons are gonna win back-to-back championships. But now it's finally time for Gregg Popovich to start. He's an 89 overall, and De'Aaron Fox is an 87. And on top of that, the Spurs traded De'Aaron Fox for Mikal Bridges, and Wemby's gonna win the MVP, averaging 29 and 12. He's also gonna win another DPOY, and Cooper Flagg's on the All-NBA second team. He averaged 20 points and 11 rebounds per game. And Gregg Popovich isn't on an All-NBA team, but he averaged 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. I'm surprised he didn't win Most Improved Player. But the Spurs are the 2nd seed. They're just 1 game behind the Thunder, and these are by far the best 2 teams in the league. And of course, they're gonna be matching up against each other in the conference finals. This team is just insane. VJ Edgecombe's up to a 93, and their center's up to an 88. And they have 93 AJ DeBonsta off the bench. Bro, their top 10 players are all 85 overall or better. It looked like game 1 was going to the Spurs after that 2nd quarter, but they had a pretty bad second half. Wemby only put up 22, and it looks like they didn't even play that much better than us. We shot around the same, but they just got way more free throws. And game 2 is also gonna go to the Thunder. They're just so good. Cooper Flagg almost had a 30-20 game, and Wemby shot 4 for 14. Gregg Popovich shot 9 for 24, and Shea dropped 34 on them. I don't know how we're gonna get past this Thunder team. They take a 3-0 lead. AJ DeBonsta dropped 32 off the bench. The Thunder aren't gonna sweep though. The Spurs finally win a game. Wemby dropped 44, and Popovich had 33. They just need to keep doing this. The only problem is they have to do it for 3 more games in a row. Okay, they're gonna force a game 6 here. Gregg Popovich had 37, and Wemby and Sohan had 28. Even Stephon Castle had 27. 2 more games. And in game 6, the Spurs are gonna force a game 7. I don't know how this is happening. Cooper Flagg led the way with 31. I feel like we just have a different leading scorer every time. So they managed to force a game 7, but the question is, can they win in game 7? And they're gonna do it. They put up 51 in the first quarter. Gregg Popovich had a 28-point triple-double, and they're back in the finals. And this time they're going up against Igor Demon and the Knicks. And this Knicks team is solid. They still have Brunson, OG, and Cat. But the Knicks were the 6th seed. I didn't even realize they were only 4 games over 500. So the Spurs should be able to win a ring here. And the Knicks just blew that game after the first quarter. We had 5 people drop 18 or more. In game 2, the Knicks are going to tie the series up at 1. Wemby dropped 34 and 10. Nobody else even had 20. And they had 5 people put up 17 or more. Why are we letting Trent and Watford score 17? Game 3 has been super back and forth, but the Spurs are down 3 with a minute to go. Jalen Brunson's gonna use the screen from James Wiseman and pull a 3. It's off. James Wiseman gets the rebound, and Wemby gets the block. Gregg Popovich on the ISO's gonna make his way into the paint, and he makes it a 1-point game. I'm hoping AJ Mitchell's a good defender because it looks like Brunson's in an ISO, and Wemby comes out of nowhere for the block. At least I think he blocked that, but I'm not 100% sure what is that turnover. That was a terrible pass. Now we have Brunson wide open. He's gonna make his way into the paint, and Wemby gets a 3rd block. Whose ball is that? It's Nick's ball. Brunson on the ISO drives past AJ Mitchell, but Gregg Popovich picks up and he still makes the layup. So the Spurs probably need a 3 here now. Gregg Popovich is gonna use the screen from Wemby. Wemby's gonna force up a deep 3. It's off. And the Knicks are going to go up 2-1. Brunson dropped 35 on them. Oh my gosh, De'Aaron's on the Knicks now. I remember us trading him, but I don't remember it was to the Knicks. Oh wait, yeah, it was for Mikal, I forgot. So Wemby had 36 and Pop had 33 for nothing. And in game 4, the Spurs were down 20 at halftime, but they're only down by 2 with 2 minutes to go. Stephon Castle's going to use the Wemby screen. I don't know why we have Gregg Popovich in the post. He takes the post fade. Why is that the shot? So now they have a Cat Wiseman pick and roll, and it looks like it's going to work. Is that a foul? No, that's a block. So the Knicks get another chance here, and it looks like Jalen Brunson's just gonna ISO on Stephon Castle. That's great defense. He misses the layup, and Popovich comes in for the board. Now we have Cooper Flag on the break. He's just gonna pull the 3, and he's gonna miss. I'm not too mad at that shot. Now we have Brunson on the break. Please force up the layup. He's gonna force it up, but he got Stephon Castle jumping. Less than a minute to go. We have Gregg Popovich on the ISO. Cat's gonna pick up, and he forces up the layup on a big man. Are we serious? And now Gregg Popovich is gonna foul for some reason, and he fouled out. Jalen Brunson's gonna get a wide open mid-range, but he's gonna miss it. Wemby on the break, please score. He throws it to Mikal for the layup. He gets fouled, and he's gonna make the N1, and Cat fouled out. That is a huge shot, and if he makes this free throw, it's a 1-point game. Igor Demon bringing up the ball, he's gonna throw it to Jalen Brunson, and he gets a turnover. So now we have Mikal on the break. He's gonna take the fast break 3, and he gives the Spurs the lead. They're gonna inbound it to Jalen Brunson, and Stephon Castle gets another steal, and he's gonna go in for the layup, and the Spurs are up 4. So now the Knicks are running out of time here. Trendon Watford's gonna shoot the 3. He misses it. Wemby gets the board, and the Spurs are gonna tie the series up at 2. De'Aaron Fox led their team with 29, and Cooper Flag led ours with 27. Okay, Wemby 6 for 23 and 3 for 17 from 3. He's 7'3", and he took 17 threes and only 6 2-pointers. And in game 5, the Spurs put up 50 in the first quarter just to lose. Gregg Popovich and Wemby both had 37. Cooper Flag almost had a triple-double, and De'Aaron Fox dropped 40. This is really his revenge game. And in game 6, the Spurs were about to force game 7, but the Knicks are outscoring them by 20 in the 4th. Stephon Castle's gonna use the screen from Wemby. It's no turnover. I thought Cat was gonna steal that. Cat's gonna swing it to De'Aaron Fox for the 3 over Mikal Bridges, and it's off. That would have been crazy if he made a 3 over the guy they traded him for. Now we have Stephon Castle, who finds an open Mikal Bridges, and he puts the Spurs up by 8. And with that lead, they're gonna force a game 7 behind 49 points from Wemby. The Spurs need to do this, or else that means they came back down 3-0 against the Thunder for nothing. So now it all comes down to one game. And in game 7, the Spurs put up 165 points, and Gregg Popovich wins his first championship as a player. But he's not done. Gregg Popovich needs to win 5 championships as a player to match his championship count as a coach. So we're 4 seasons in, and he's got a long way to go. I don't know how Wemby's down to a 98, but the big 4 are all 93 overall or better. And I know it's gonna drop his overall, but I'm gonna move Gregg Popovich's primary position to point guard. And Cameron Boozer's gonna win an MVP, averaging 30 points and 15 rebounds per game. Wemby can't stop winning depoys, and Wemby and Gregg Popovich are both on the All-NBA second team. Gregg Popovich is up to 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. And Cooper Flag's here too. I didn't even realize. He averaged 21, 10, and 6. And the Spurs are the 1 seed again. They finished with 62 wins, and they're the best team in the league, but the top 3 teams in the league are all in the West. Gregg Popovich crushed Steph Curry's record of 3s in a season. He has a 96 3. I think I gave him a 65 or a 73 pointer as a rookie. He was just supposed to be good at mid-ranges. In the first round, the Spurs are going to gentleman sweep the Blazers. Now they have to go against the Timberwolves led by a 99 Anthony Edwards. And that series wasn't close at all. They're going to sweep their way to the conference finals. But now they have to play this Thunder team who just keeps getting better, and AJ DeBonsta's a starter now. And that's because they have J-Dub at the 4. They don't have Chet anymore. Chet left the Thunder to go to the Clippers. And they didn't even make the playoffs. They made the play-in, but they lost. Game 1's going to go to the Spurs. This one wasn't close at all. And Gregg Popovich, Cooper Flag, and Wemby combined for 90 points. And game 2's also going to go to the Spurs. Gregg Popovich had 34, and this Bryant guy had 22 and 10. His first 3 seasons on the team, he was not that good, but he's finally turning into a good player. Now we're back to reality. The Thunder finally take a game. Bro, I was going to look who this guy was. The Thunder had the 2nd pick in 2027. They just have crazy picks. They had the 1st pick the year before that. They had the 6th pick the year before that. And they even got Jeremiah Fears. And I didn't even realize this guy was the 4th pick when they had the 1st pick and got AJ DeBonsta. But none of that matters. The Spurs are a team for now. Whoa. I was gonna say the Spurs are a team for now and the future, but the Thunder have 16 seconds here to tie the series up at 2. And it looks like they're gonna put the ball in AJ DeBonsta's hands for the last shot. He's gonna have to take the shot over Wemby. There's no foul, and the Spurs are gonna go up 3-1 in the series. They almost blew that game. Thank you, Wemby. 38 and 14, and Pop had 30. So now they're just 1 win away from being back in the finals against a different opponent. I guess the Knicks and Pistons are just bad now. The Knicks are in the play-in, and the Pistons went from the 1 seed last season all the way to the worst team in the East this season. What? And they still have Cade too. No, wait, did they trade for AD? Oh no, they traded for AD. I feel like they traded Duren. Let's go to the Mavericks and see. And the Mavericks have Duren. Oh my gosh, they traded Duren for AD. Cade already has 2 regular season and finals MVPs. They might have just ruined his career arc. And his career high 66 in a game. And the Spurs are gonna beat the Thunder in 5. I didn't think that series would be that easy. And Wemby carried with 38 points and 11 rebounds. So now they're back in the finals, and they're going up against the Magic. And they have Will Riley, who's a 92. And game 1's closer than it should be. The Spurs blew it in that 3rd quarter. And on top of that, they have to get a stop because it's Magic ball. And Jeremy Sohan gets a steal. What? As I'm saying that? Let's see if they can score on the fast break. He's going to throw it down low to Stephon Castle, and he ties the game up. Franz is going to use the screen from their center. He pulls a deep 3, and it's going to bounce in. Cooper Flag's going to throw it down low to Wemby. That was almost a turnover, and now he is going to get a turnover. So they have Will Riley on the break. He spins his way into the paint. He forces up the shot on Cooper Flag, and McHale gets the board. Wemby's gonna use the screen from Jeremy Sohan. He's gonna drive past Franz into the paint. He gets fouled, and he's not gonna make the and 1. But he has the chance to cut the Magic lead down to 1. His first free throw's good, and to make it a 1-point game, his second free throw's gonna miss. Less than a minute to go, and Paolo's gonna bump into Franz and lose the ball. Now we have Cooper Flag on the break, and he ties the game up. I can't believe Paolo just ran into his own teammate. But now he has a chance to redeem himself here. He's gonna go up with a terrible layup, and he's gonna miss, but their center gets the rebound. He's gonna go for the putback, and he misses the layup. Now we have Cooper Flag on the break. I don't know why he's slowing down. He swings it to Wemby. Wemby's gonna use the screen from Jeremy Sohan. Bro, do something. He's gonna drive into the paint. What is that shot? What are you doing, Wemby? And now the Magic are gonna get the last shot. Will Riley on the break. Please stop him, Stephon Castle. Don't let him score. They throw it down low to the center, and Cooper Flag went for the steal. They're gonna inbound it to Stephon Castle, who throws it to Wemby. That was a sloppy pass. Now we have Gregg Popovich using the screen from Wemby. It's not a great screen. He's still looking for Wemby. With 2 seconds to go, Wemby has to force up the layup, and the Magic are gonna take game 1. That was such a winnable game for the Spurs there. Wemby had 33. Gregg Popovich had 21, but he shot 5 for 16. Now they gotta come back strong in game 2. And that's exactly what they did. They had an amazing second quarter, and they tied the series up at 1. There we go. Gregg Popovich shot 10 for 19. He had 34 points. Cooper Flag had 27, and Wemby had 24. And in game 3, they would use that momentum to blow out the Magic. That is a crazy lead. And Gregg Popovich had 43, and Wemby had 39. And in game 4, the Spurs have an amazing first quarter. It's enough to win them the game. I think they just dropped 165 in back-to-back games. Oh my gosh, Popovich had 52 and Wemby had 42. So now they're just 1 win away from winning ring 2 out of 5. And the Spurs are going to win in 5 games to get Gregg Popovich his 2nd championship as a player. And he's also going to win his first finals MVP over Wemby. He averaged 37 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game in the series. And Bronny was on the roster. He won a ring too. On to season number 6. Wemby's dropping again, but Cooper Flag's up to a 97 and Gregg Popovich is up to a 95. Cameron Boozer wins another MVP, and he steals the Defensive Player of the Year from Wemby. But Wemby's still on the All-NBA second team. He averaged 23 points and 9 rebounds per game. And Gregg Popovich is on the All-NBA third team. He averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. And the Spurs are the 1 seed again. It's pretty much just them and the Thunder competing for the final spot in the West. And I guess the Pelicans too, they're only 4 games back. Never mind, the Pelicans got eliminated by the 6th seed. So after sweeping in the first round, the Spurs have a rematch match against the Timberwolves. Last time it went to 6, and this time it's going to 4. And the Thunder just blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. So this is the Spurs' first conference finals that's not against the Thunder, and they have to go up against Jokic and Brandon Miller. Game 1 was back and forth until the second half. The Spurs are going to take a 1-0 lead. And Gregg Popovich was off to a slow start at the beginning of his career, but now he's dropping 40 in playoff games like it's nothing. In Game 2, the Nuggets are going to tie the series up at 1. Gregg Popovich only had 17. He shot 6 for 22. And in Game 3, the Nuggets would use that momentum to win every quarter and go up 2-1. Wemby's not even in the top 5 scorers. He's not even 6. He put up 2 points. He fouled out in 22 minutes. We need Wemby to win games. And in Game 4, we had Wemby, but we still got blown out. He had a good game. He put up 27, 14, and 7. But Gregg Popovich shot 8 for 23. They came back down 3-0 against the Thunder. Let's see if they can come back down 3-1. And I guess the Spurs' luck didn't run out yet. They're going to force a Game 6. Wemby almost had a 40-point triple-double, and Gregg Popovich almost had a triple-double. Now they need to do that for 2 more games. And it looks like the Spurs could be forcing a Game 7. They're down 3 with less than 2 minutes to go. DeJounte Murray's gonna use the screen from Jokic. He throws it down low to him, and the Nuggets are up 5. And I think Wemby fouled out because he's not in the game. So now it's all up to Gregg Popovich. He's gonna take the jumper, and we're back to a 3-point game. DeJounte Murray's gonna use the screen from Brandon Miller. He throws it down low to Jokic, being guarded by Jalen Williams. They send the double, which leaves Brandon Miller open, and his three's off. So now the Spurs have a chance to tie it here. Gregg Popovich is in an ISO on DeJounte Murray, and that was a nice move. We have a tie game now. And now we have Jokic ISOing on Jalen Williams. He's going to make his way into the paint. He bodies him, and the Nuggets are up 2. If the Spurs don't score here, it could be over. Gregg Popovich drives past DeJounte Murray. He finds Bryant open for 3, and he's going to miss. So now they need a stop here, but they're going to leave Jokic wide open, and he knocks down the 3. That could have potentially been the dagger. Bryant with the ball trying to get an open look. He's going to force the layup, and he's so lucky he got fouled. So now he needs to make both of these free throws here. His first one's gonna miss, and to make it a 4-point game, his second free throw is good, but they have to foul. DeJounte Murray missed both free throws, so the Spurs are down 6 now, and they're gonna have to settle for a Cooper Flag deep 3. He's gonna miss, and the Nuggets are gonna beat the Spurs in 6. So after winning 2 championships in a row, the Spurs can't three-peat, and the Nuggets are gonna go on to win the championship as a 6th seed. And in Gregg Popovich's 7th season, he's up to a 96, and he's on the All-NBA second team. He averaged 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Cooper Flag's on the All-NBA second team with him. He averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. And Wemby's on the All-NBA first team. He's up to 25 points and 10 rebounds per game. The Thunder won 70 games, but the Spurs aren't too far behind. They're the best 2 teams in the league by far. Gregg Popovich broke his own record. He almost made 500 threes this season. And what do you know? It's Thunder Spurs in the conference finals. Game 1, the Spurs are making a very late comeback. They're down 1 with 30 seconds to go. Ryan's gonna ISO on Gregg Popovich. He breaks his ankles, and his mid-range is gonna bounce in. So now the Spurs have 15 seconds here, down 3. Gregg Popovich gonna swing it to Castle for the wide open 3, and it's off. Gregg Popovich gets the rebound though, so Stephon Castle's gonna get another chance here, and he knocks down the 3 to tie the game with 5 seconds to go. That was a clutch offensive rebound. They just need to get a stop here. And they're gonna go into Shea, getting clamped up by Stephon Castle. He swings it to AJ DeMonsta, and we're going into overtime. And in overtime, the Spurs are down by 1 with 2 minutes to go. Wallace is gonna use the screen from Jalen Williams. He pulls the mid-range, and he puts the Spurs up. Now we have Shea on the ice, so he's easily gonna get into the paint, and the Thunder are back up. They don't have Wemby or Pop in the game, so Cooper Flag, we need you to go off here. He's gonna make his way into the paint, and he gets fouled. And VJ Edgecombe fouled out. Hopefully they put Wemby or Pop back in the game. Cooper Flag's first free throw's good, and his second free throw's up, and he knocks it down. And Wemby and Pop aren't in the game. I'm assuming both of them fouled out. Now they have Jeremiah Fears running the pick and roll, and this is just a back and forth game. Okay, Cooper Flag's gonna make his way into the paint easily. He's gonna force up the layup though. He is so lucky he got that rebound. Now we have Wallace using the screen from Jalen Williams. He's getting clamped up by Jeremiah Fears. 4 seconds to go. He's not doing anything. He swings it to Bryant. The contested 3, and it's off. They need to stop here or else they're going to lose game 1. And the Thunder get into the paint, but they're going to miss it on the fast break. Wallace is going to throw it down low to Cooper Flag. Please don't do something stupid. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting clamped up. He throws up the layup, and he puts the Spurs up with 12 seconds. All they need is one last stop here, and they win game 1. Shea's going to chew down the clock. He's ISOing on Stephon Castle. He's going to have to force up the floater. It's off. and Stephon Castle gets the rebound. Stephon Castle made both of his free throws, but even with 0.2 seconds, the Thunder won't be able to get a shot off, and the Spurs are going to take game 1. And Gregg Popovich had a 55-point near triple-double. Cooper Flagg had 37, Wemby only had 16, but he had 10 assists. And yeah, Wemby and Gregg Popovich both fouled out. Gregg Popovich made 10 threes and 15 free throws, and Cooper Flagg stepped up when the other two were out. And in game 2, the Spurs are going to run away with the game in the fourth quarter. Gregg Popovich led the team again, dropping 35. And game 3 is another Spurs masterclass. They go up 3-0. Bro, Gregg Popovich is cooking. But the Spurs aren't going to complete the sweep. That second quarter from the Thunder was insane. Wemby led the way, dropping 36 and 10. All they have to do is win one more game. And in game 5, the Spurs are having trouble closing out the series. They're only up 3 with a minute to go. Wemby's going to come set the screen for Gregg Popovich. He's going to make his way towards the paint. He gets doubled, and he still goes up with the shot. Now we have Shea on the break. He's going to take the mid-range, and he's going to miss it. Salon's going to swing it to Gregg Popovich, trying to make his way back into the paint. I don't know what he's doing. He's forced up 2 bad shots. So the Thunder still have a chance here with 30 seconds to go. Ryan's going to take the layup, and he misses it. So the Spurs are sending Gregg Popovich to the line. His first free throw is good, and to give them a 5-point lead, his second free throw is good. The Thunder have no timeouts here. They need to get a shot off quick, and VJ Edgecombe's going to make his way into the paint past Wemby. He's going to miss, and the Spurs are going to make it to the finals in 5 games. And out east, they're going up against Cameron Boozer and the Pacers. In 6 seasons, he has 3 MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year. And in game 1, the Pacers were just up 7, but they only have a 1-point lead now. Tyrese Halliburton's going to use the screen. He throws it down low to their center, and Wemby's going to get the steal. Let's see if they can score here on the fast break. Wemby makes his way all the way to the paint, and he gets fouled. So now with 1 minute left, he can put the Spurs up. His first free throw's good, and to give the Spurs the lead, his second free throw's going to miss, but Cooper Flagg comes out of nowhere for the board. They're going to go back down low to him in the paint. He has to force up the layup, and it's off. Now we have Halliburton on the ISO being guarded by Pop. He forces up the layup, and he gives the Pacers the lead back. Gregg Popovich swings it to Bryant for the 3. I don't know why he took that. He fell down. Hallie being guarded by Pop with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's kind of getting clamped up. Please just keep clamping him up. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, he's getting clamped. He's gonna have to force up the mid-range, and the Spurs get a chance here, but they're not gonna use the timeout for some reason. Cooper Flagg on the break. He's gonna make his way into the paint. He gets his man jumping, and he ties the game up with 0.4 seconds. And the Pacers can't get a full court shot off in time. We're going into overtime. And in overtime, the Spurs have some catching up to do. They're down 2 with 2 minutes to go, and Wemby's just gonna throw a terrible pass. So now on the fast break, the Pacers get an easy dunk, and they're up 4. Pop's gonna throw it down low to Wemby for the layup. What is he doing? I didn't even hear the whistle, but he got fouled. Wemby knocked down both free throws. We have a 2-point game now. Hallie on the ISO again, makes his way towards the paint, and Wemby's gonna get the steal. Now we have Bryant on the break. Please don't be a charging foul. It's a charging foul. So now after that turnover, the Pacers get the ball back. And Tyrese Halliburton's going to ISO on Popovich again. He makes his way into the paint. How is that a foul? Tyrese Halliburton's first free throw's up, and he knocks it down. And to put the Pacers up by 4, his second free throw's good. Wemby, we need you to cook here. He's going to get his man jumping. He takes the layup, and we're back to a 2-point game. Please, let's just get a stop here. Halliburton's going to use the screen. He gets a 3. Popovich kind of recovers. They miss, but they get the offensive board, and they're back up 4 again. They're going to go back down low to Wemby, and Pop throws a turnover. And now on the fast break, they're going to throw it to Halliburton, who throws it to Walker. The defense is not there, and the Pacers are up 6. They're going to go back down low to Wemby for the post fade, and it's going to go in, but they're still down 4. Tyrese Halliburton knocked down both free throws. The Spurs need to score here, or else they're cooked. Pop's going to use the screen from Wemby, and oh my gosh, did Tyrese Halliburton just get a steal? He did, and the Pacers are going to take game 1. Pop and Wemby both had 40. Cooper Flagg had 30, but they just had way more help. I am so surprised game 2. The Pacers were up by like 20 at halftime, but the Spurs tied the series up at 1. And Gregg Popovich put up a career high 56. He absolutely carried. He made 8 threes and 20 free throws. We shot 55 free throws as a team. They only shot 21. I'm not complaining though. And in game 3, the Spurs used the momentum from game 2 to go up 2-1. Pop had 39, Stephon Castle had 28. And even though he's the 4th option, he's been really good. His field goal percentage and 3-point percentage are elite. But in game 4, we have a close one. Let's see if the Spurs can complete their second half comeback. Tyrese Halliburton's gonna take a shot over 2 people, and Cooper Flagg gets the block. Now we have Stephon Castle on the break, taking the layup over Elijah Arenas, and he gives the Spurs a 4-point lead. Now we have Benedict Mathurin using the screen. It's not a very good one. Cooper Flagg is clamping him up right now, and he's gonna step out of bounds. Pop on the ISO trying to get into the paint on Hallie. He's gonna take the layup, and he misses it, and Hallie's gonna get the board. And now they have Walker on the break. He throws it down low to Elijah Arenas, and we're back to a 2-point game. Less than a minute to go. Pop's gonna use the screen from Wemby. He swings it back out out to Wemby. He could have pulled that three, but now we have Stephon Castle throwing it to Wemby for the dunk, and the Spurs are up 4 again. They're gonna go down low to Cameron Boozer. I think this is the first time he's touched the ball all game, and that is a crazy dunk. So the Pacers are gonna full court press here, but they're not gonna foul. All the Spurs have to do is score one more time. Pop's gonna take the jumper, and he misses it. So now the Pacers have a chance to tie the series up at 2 here. Hallie's gonna chew down the clock. He swings it to Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer trying to get back into the paint on Bryant. 4 seconds to go. He swings it to Hallie. And Hallie's gonna have to force up the shot, and he misses it. The Spurs go up 3-1. Cameron Boozer had 37. He should have touched the ball more. And then on the other end, Popovich had 36. And in Game 5, the Spurs put up almost 200 points in regulation. And Gregg Popovich and Wemby are going to win their 3rd championship together, meaning they only have 2 more to go. And Wemby's so tall that Pop can't even high-five him. And in the closeout game, Wemby had a 48-point triple-double. Gregg Popovich had a 45-point near triple-double. And Cooper Flagg had a 30-point near triple-double. Oh my gosh, Pop averaged 44 and 8 in the series. And Pop is still getting better at the age of 29. He's up to a 97 overall. Wemby's gonna win his 2nd MVP, averaging 30 points and 11 rebounds. And the Spurs finished the season 75-7. Cooper Flagg's on the All-NBA 3rd team. He averaged 24 points and 10 rebounds per game. And Gregg Popovich somehow didn't make an All-NBA team, even though he averaged 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. And with the record this good, the Spurs easily made it back to the finals to go up against the Pistons. They lost to the Pistons in the finals in their 2nd season, so hopefully they can get revenge this time. Game 1 is not close at all. It was a blowout since the 2nd quarter, and Wemby put up 49 and 12. Gregg Popovich had 36, and the Spurs win the game by 73 points. Game 2 was less of a blowout, but the Pistons weren't able to finish their comeback. Cade dropped 49, but he absolutely had no help, and the Spurs had all the help in the world. Game 3 wasn't close. The Pistons are going to win every single quarter. We didn't even have anyone put up 25 plus, and Cade cooked us, dropping 47. And even though it looked like the series was over after 2 games, the Pistons tie it up at 2. Pop had 27, but he shot pretty bad, and Wemby only put up 18. Cooper Flagg didn't even put up, oh, he did put up 10. He had a triple-double, but he shot 4 for 16. I don't know how they only lost by 7. They shot 36% from the field. And in Game 5, the Spurs are only up by 2. Whoever wins this game goes up 3-2 in the series. Stephon Castle's gonna use the screen from Wemby, but this spacing is terrible. They're gonna go down low to Pop for the post fade, and it's in and out. It just rolls out. Cade in the corner trying to get by Stephon Castle, takes the jumper over him, and he ties the game up. Pop on the ISO trying to get by Cade. He's gonna swing it to Wallace, who's not gonna pull the open 3. He's gonna throw it down low to Wemby, though. I don't like this Wemby versus Porzingis matchup, but he finds Pop, who knocks down the 3. 1 minute to go. Cade's gonna run the ISO. He hops into the paint, and Popovich is gonna foul him, even though Wemby came in for the help. So now Cade can make it a 1-point game here. His first free throw's good, and his second free throw's up, and he's gonna knock it down. Pop on the ISO is gonna swing it to Wemby for the mid-range jumper, and the Spurs are up 3. 30 seconds to go. Cade's gonna run the ISO. Popovich is playing pretty good defense. Cade forces up the layup, and Pop gets the board. And now Stephon Castle gets a trip to the free throw line. His first free throw's good, and to give the Spurs a 5-point lead, his second free throw's good. The Pistons need to get a shot off quick here. Cade's gonna drive into the paint and take the layup over Pop, and the Spurs are gonna take a 3-2 lead. And Gregg Popovich dropped 37, and now they're 1 win away from winning back-to-back championships. And in Game 6, the Spurs are gonna win, and Wemby and Pop win back-to-back championships again. And they just won ring 4 out of 5 together. Let's see if they can three-peat to win their 5th championship. Pop's gonna go up to a 98 overall, but it might be harder to win a championship this year with Stephon Castle going to the Pistons. Wemby's gonna win his 3rd MVP award, and without Stephon Castle, the Spurs are still amazing. They win 69 games. Cooper Flagg's on the All-NBA 2nd team. He averaged 25 points and 10 rebounds per game. And Gregg Popovich is on the All-NBA 3rd team. He averaged 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. And the Spurs pretty easily make it out of the first round, but in the second round, the series is tied up at 2. And in Game 5, they're gonna blow out the Pelicans to take a 3-2 lead. Wemby put up 46 and 15, and Gregg Popovich had 27 and 10. And in Game 6, we have a 2-point game. The Pelicans are 2 minutes away from forcing a Game 7. Wallace is gonna throw it down low to Wemby. That was almost a steal. Why is he taking the fade? He had an open layup. I don't know what Wemby's doing. Now Dylan Harper's gonna pull the 3, and he misses it. Wemby on the ISO trying to make his way into the paint, forces up another bad shot, and he misses again. So now we have Cooper Flagg guarding the number 2 pick in his same draft class. He's gonna throw it down to Yves Missy, and the Pelicans take a 4-point lead. Wemby, please don't do something stupid this time. He takes another fade, but this time it's good. And Dash Daniels sets an illegal screen. The Spurs get the ball back, and Gregg Popovich is finally back in the game. They're running Wemby as the point. He finds Pop, and the game is tied just like that. Sanchez is gonna use the screen from Zion. He can't seem to get past Pop, but he finds Missy, and he gets fouled. Thank goodness that didn't go in. So now they have Yves Missy at the free throw line. His first free throw is gonna bounce in, and to give the Pelicans a 2-point lead, his second free throw throw's good. They have Wemby at point again, trying to get past Eves Missy. He's gonna swing it to Bryant. Bryant's gonna take the step back mid-range. I don't know what kind of shot that was, but he knocks it down. So now the Pelicans are gonna potentially get the last shot here. Darren Peterson's gonna use the screen from Missy. He gets a wide open three, and he knocks it down with 4 seconds to go. The Spurs have no timeouts here. Popovich is gonna pull a half-court shot, and it actually almost went in, but the Pelicans are forcing a game 7. Darren Peterson dropped 33 on them, and Gregg Popovich had 39 just to lose. But in game 7, the Spurs have an amazing first and third quarter. Wemby had 45 and Pop had 37, and they're moving on to the conference finals to play the Thunder. And they pretty much have the same team, but they have a hole at power forward. The Spurs have a terrible fourth quarter. They're gonna lose game 1. I don't like the way this series is starting. But in game 2, they're gonna make up for it. They absolutely blow out the Thunder, and Wemby dropped 40 points with 16 rebounds. And game 3 was pretty close in the first half, but the Spurs had a really bad third quarter. The Thunder take a 2-1 lead. And in game 4, this one was pretty close, but the Spurs are gonna run away with the win. And Cooper Flag carried. He had 35. And in game 5, the Spurs blow out the Thunder in the 4th. Gregg Popovich had a 47-point triple-double, and the Spurs are just 1 win away from being back in the finals. And in game 6, the Thunder are gonna be forcing a game 7. Nobody on the Spurs had more than 25, and for the Thunder, Shea dropped 37. And in game 7, the Spurs have an amazing second quarter. Their hopes of three-peating are still alive. Cooper Flag, Wemby, and Gregg Popovich all had double-doubles. And in the finals, they're going up against AJ DeBonsta, who's now on the Cavs. He signed to them on a 1-year, $2 million deal. And that's because he was a free agent and no teams had enough money to sign him. This is going to be a tough team to beat. Game 1, the Spurs come out hot in that first half. They're going to put up 180 points in regulation. And they had 4 people score 25 or more. Game 2 was much closer until the third quarter, where the Spurs put up 47 points to win the game. And Gregg Popovich led the way, dropping 43. Him and Wemby both have 4 rings and 2 finals MVPs each. And now they're just 2 wins away from winning their 5th ring together. And in game 3, the Spurs were just up by 12 with 3 minutes to go. But with less than a minute to go, they only have a 2-point lead. Let's see if Pop can clamp up Garland here. He's going to take a step back 3 and he misses. The Spurs could potentially hit the dagger here. They're going to go down low to Popovich for the post fade, and he's going to miss. Garland's going to use the screen from Evan Mobley. He gets a wide open 3, and he puts the Cavs up by 1. So now the Spurs have 10 seconds here. They have no timeouts. Gregg Popovich on the ISO gets past Garland. Mobley's going to help though, which leaves Cooper Flag open, and he's going to miss the 3. The Cavs are going to win their first game of the series. I can't believe the Spurs blew that 12-point lead with 3 minutes to go. And Gregg Popovich shot 6 for 19, and Wemby shot 7 for 19. But in game 4, this one wasn't close at all. The Spurs take a 3-1 lead. And Gregg Popovich and Cooper Flag carried the team. Them and Wemby just fill up the stat sheet every game. And in game 5, the Cavs are fighting back, and they're at the free throw line, so they're up 4 now. And to give them a 5-point lead, Evan Mobley's second free throw is going to miss. Pop's going to use the screen from Wemby. He gets a wide open 3-pointer, and it's off, but Wemby's going to get the rebound and the putback, and he misses the putback. They're going to go down low to Mobley, being guarded by Cooper Flag. He is getting bodied. Mobley takes the fade, and it's off. Wemby's going to set the screen. This guy's going to drive to the paint. He gets an open mid-range, and we have a 2-point game. They're going to go back down low to Mobley, being guarded by Wemby. He gets Wemby jumping, but Wemby recovers, and he's going to get the rebound. So the Spurs have a chance to win it here, but they're going to get a turnover on the fast break. So now they have Garland at the free throw line. His first free throw is good, and to give the Cavs a 4-point lead, his second free throw is good. So the Spurs are down 4 with 15 seconds to go. They're going to find Wemby for the top of the key 3, and we still have a game. So now the Cavs have to depend on Killian Hayes' free throws here. His first one's just barely going to bounce in, and to give them a 3-point lead, his second free throw is good. And those were his first 2 points all game. So the Spurs are running out of time here. Wemby's going to swing it to Popovich. The 3 over Garland. He misses, and the Cavs are going to take game 5. Pop had 34. Wemby almost had a 20-20 game, but AJ DeBonsta dropped 36 on them. The Spurs are still up 3-2 though, and in game 6, the Cavs blew it in the second half. So Pop and Wemby are going to win their 5th championship and complete the challenge. If you want to see me ruin NBA history with the Ball family, click the video on the screen right now.